Hey, how's it going? So it only just got released, but I've just been asked to review the new iPad, which you would think would be called the iPad 3, but they've decided to call it the new iPad, which is odd in many ways because I don't know what they're going to do for the next iPad, so we can only presume that they're going to either release another one with a different form factor, or they're just going to confuse everybody as they say, can I have the new iPad. So let's have a look at the specs on this. Obviously, people are talking about it like it's the iPad 3. The biggest thing about this is that it's got a double resolution screen on it compared to the last one, and they've managed to cram more pixels, so it's going to look incredibly super sharp. It's going to be a retina display basically. Resolution of 2048 by 1536, 3.1 million pixels at 264 ppi. It's got the new processor on it, the A5X processor, which is a twin core processor but a quad core graphics. People are getting a little bit confused there, but it's still the same sort of twin core, but they've really overhauled the graphics side of it so they can push more pixels to that lovely new screen. It's got a 5 megapixel iSight camera. I'm not really sure why they've decided to call it the iSight camera again, but it's a good thing that they've redesigned that camera, so at least a tablet from Apple has got a decent camera finally. 1080p video recording. We'll see how good that is in practice. I'm sure they've done a lot of work with that sensor, and also hooked that into this quad-core GPU to do a lot of graphic work behind the scenes. Voice dictation, similar to Siri. Obviously, it's not the same as Siri because you sort of say to Siri and it gives you results. This is sort of talking into it, a bit like Dragon Speak, if you've ever heard of that. It's got 4G LTE connectivity. We'll see what happens with the networks. Will they be able to cope? Will it be super fast? Will we be sort of paying for stupid amounts of money just to have that level of connectivity? Do like the idea because there's a whole suite of new apps coming out for this. So you've got like iMovies getting redone for the first time. We're getting iPhoto on it, so that'll be nice for DSLR shots straight to it. I can imagine using this with like an iFi card in a DSLR straight into my iCloud, and then straight onto my new iPad 3 with a super high resolution, so you can select which ones are good or bad. 10 hours battery life. Normally Apple's pretty good on battery life when they talk about the batteries that they put in there, and they normally tune them to suit. Pre-order started yesterday, available on March the 16th, and it's running iOS 5.1. So 4G support will be Verizon, AT&T outside of the US. 4G LTE will be offered on Rogers, Bells and Telus. More carriers will come down the road. So there's new iPad pricing. The 16 gig is now $499, 32 gig is $599, and the 64 gig is $699. New iPad with 4G LTE prices: 16 gig 4G LTE $629, $729, and $829 for the 32 and 64 gig respectively. Very cool. Looking forward to swapping out my iPad 2 for the iPad 3. I don't know what I was expecting really for the new iPad, but I'm glad it's here. I'm glad they've got the best screen on there, and more so that they've got a better camera in there.